Neymar's world record move to Paris Saint-Germain leaves a gaping hole at Barcelona. The Catalan club have spent relatively little in recent years, and it is a long time since they signed a bona fide superstar, not since Luis Suarez 3 years ago. A team that coruscated and dazzled at the height of their powers has just started to stagnate, with fresh blood desperately needed after losing the heir to Lionel Messi's throne. The Catalan club had not really planned for this eventuality. This summer their priorities were a central midfielder and right-back, though as proof of their fading appeal top targets Ander Herrera and Hector Bellerin spurned their advances. Now, in addition to those signings, they must find a player who can provide the creativity, attacking venom and downright star quality that Neymar exuded so effortlessly. Here are their best options. Muted as a potential incentive to keep Neymar at the club, compatriot and BFF Philippe Coutinho is now the likeliest man to replace him. Some reports are already claiming that Barcelona are in advanced talks with Liverpool over an £80 million deal, and it is easy to see why they have made him their first choice to succeed Neymar. While a markedly different type of player, Coutinho has that same sense of flair and fun, blessed with the quick-footedness and dribbling ability that can only be nurtured to the beat of the samba drum. But he has other strings to his bow too, a thunderous long-range shot, a diverse range of passing and playmaking skills that have given Liverpool cause to consider him at number 8. In many respects he is more of an heir to Andres Iniesta than Neymar, but his presence alongside Suarez and Messi could provide even further ammunition for two-thirds of the remaining MSN attack, as well as offering a different form of penetration when planner does not work. He won't be cheap, but Barca have plenty of money to burn now. It has been a while since Barcelona signed a former Real Madrid Galactico, Samuel Eto'o, who left the club in 2009, was the last, but losing a player of Neymar's ilk might force the Catalan club to consider a player who once donned the famous white jersey. On numerous levels, Arsenal's want-away playmaker Mesut Ozil feels like an excellent fit for the club. Again, perhaps more of an Iniesta heir than a Neymar replacement, the German is a wonderful technician with a supreme ability to unlock defenses, while the pace of La Liga, and the relative lack of intensity and aggression compared to the Premier League, has always suited his more languid style. In his 3 seasons at Real, he registered a massive 47 assists in the league alone. He might even be relatively cheap. With just 1 year left on his current contract, Arsene Wenger has already intimated that he suspects Ozil will leave for nothing when it expires next summer. To avoid missing out on a significant transfer fee, a potential windfall from Barca could be very appealing. Barcelona have long held an interest in signing Ousmane Dembele, with the French starlet's blend of lightning speed and outrageously fast feet marking him out as a future Ballon d'Or contender. Even at the tender age of 20, he took the Bundesliga by storm last season, recording the second most assists in the league, 12, and routinely burning defenders for fun. There are shades of Neymar about the way he plays, even if his style is a little more efficient and direct. The Brazilian embarrasses defenders with silky dribbling and no-look passes. Dembele can just push and run, even though he has more subtle weapons in his armory too. His touchline-hugging wing play would fit well at Barca, though he may need to swap wings to allow Messi his preferred berth just off the right. Dembele represents the future of football, and while he is not yet the finished article, his superstar potential is plain to see. Barca would almost certainly need to make him the world's most expensive under-21 player in order to convince Borussia Dortmund to sell, but he's clearly worth it. For a brief while, Angel Di Maria was muted as a potential make-weight in a deal for Neymar, though it became very clear, very quickly, that Barcelona would only allow the Brazilian to leave if his €222 million, £199 million, release clause was paid up in full. But that will not stop Barca from weighing up an entirely separate deal for Di Maria, who has torn up La Liga before. Admittedly, That was in a real shirt, and he has struggled for form since leaving the Spanish capital for Manchester United 3 years ago, and his 2 seasons at PSG have been a mixed bag. He thrived alongside Zlatan Ibrahimovic, recording a career-high 18 league assists, but did not even manage half that figure last season, and only netted 6 times. Yet the Argentine is obviously phenomenally talented and, as he has shown for the national team, is an excellent foil for Messi. He would slot in seamlessly in Barca's attack, providing pace, creativity and guile, and is perhaps the closest thing to a ready-made replacement for Neymar. It is arguable that, were Barca to sign Di Maria and Marco Verratti, they would be stronger as a result. Eden Hazard has long seemed destined to eventually end up in Spain, though he's always batted his eyelashes in the direction of Real Madrid, not Barcelona. But Neymar's departure leaves open a spot for a player with the Belgians' exact skill set, a nominal left winger who wants to drive inside, commit players, create goals and score the odd one too. Hazard has been one of the Premier League's standout players since he joined from Lille, lifting the Premier League twice. He scored 16 goals in the Premier League last season, his most since a 20-goal haul back in France 5 years ago, and laid on 5 assists, a figure that would have been far higher but for the profligacy of his teammates. But for N'Golo Kanté, he would have been the runaway player of the year candidate. Sadly for Barca, it is the sort of deal that takes months, even years, to put together, whereas they have just days to sign a replacement for Neymar this summer. Chelsea will not allow their most exhilarating attacker since Gianfranco Zola to leave easily, this late in the window, unless an enormous offer is made, while his broken ankle, and question marks over how he will return from the first serious injury of his career, make a deal highly unlikely. It almost feels too straightforward and logical for Barcelona to dump as much of the £199 million they will receive from Neymar's sale as it takes to sign Monaco sensation Kylian Mbappé. The 18-year-old has everything the Brazilian offers and potentially more. Blessed with outrageous pace, unerring in front of goal and composed in the final third. His blend of raw pace and precocious talent feels tailor-made for an attack that isn't getting any younger, his speed and willingness to run in behind an ideal complement to the respective strengths of Messi and Suarez. He bagged 15 league goals and 8 assists in an astonishing breakout campaign, and became the youngest scorer ever in a Champions League semi-final. If he does not win the Ballon d'Or in the future, then something would have had to have gone monumentally wrong in his development. Of course, Barca will not be alone in their pursuit of the French teenager. Monaco are adamant that he will not be allowed to leave the club this summer, while Manchester City and Real Madrid are both believed to have made contract with his representatives already. The prospect of playing alongside childhood idol Cristiano Ronaldo is a huge draw too. But Messi isn't bad either.